agree with me that season 2 was a blast. We started with a very interesting topic, friendly versus flirty, navigating the thin line, and we brought series of guests. We went to the streets. We almost fight at some point, but we behaved ourselves. And this is the last episode of season 2. And thank you for allowing us to come into your screens. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you for enabling the notifications. Thank you for being the part of the Unscripted family. We appreciate all of you. And definitely, we look forward to celebrating with you in other seasons. That was just an introduction to show how much we appreciate everyone. However, we have one more episode to deal with to call season 2 a wrap. And it's a very interesting episode because I'm sure we've probably been involved with this kind of life one way or the other. But before we go to the topic, let me first of all introduce the crew. To my immediate right, we love to always have her with us. She calls herself Titi Lokpe, but we call her the most sought after. To my left is my brother from another mother, someone I've known for over 20 years. Cool, calm, collected, always causing wala on the Unscripted crew. It's your boy Tizo. And of course, to my extreme left is going to be his first time on the Unscripted seat, and I'm sure it's not going to be his last time.
No, it won't.
He's a friend of the house, very controversial. You are going to hear some things from him that you'll probably be wondering that who is this guy?
That came to scatter everywhere.
That came to scatter everywhere. It's definitely because he has been on this table before. He has shaken lots of tables, and the table is about to shake today. Make sure your table is well written because it might fall down. It's none other than David Roberts. Thank you for coming, David. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Fearless.
And of course, I'm your favorite MC, Koye. Okay, today's topic is very simple. I'm sure you've been thinking of this topic also because you've practiced this topic in one way or the other. It's a very simple topic. Fake it till you make it. There's no subtopic. We'll just say it as it is. Fake it till you make it. However you want to interpret it, we hope that you learn from us. We hope that you unlearn some things. But ultimately, we hope that from the things you probably hear today, you'll see why or why not faking it till you make it might not be a good thing or might be a good thing. Okay, let me start by asking Titi Lokpe.
In recent times, you've been starting with me.
I don't know because you
I'm
always...
here to listen to David.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. I mean,
first.
you're the only lady now, so let's start with you.
I'm just here to learn today.
I'm here to listen to David.
I'm here to learn.
We've all been on this table. I'm sure that, okay.
Koye has been on this.
I have been there. I agree.
Here to hear his experiences.
I admit I've been there.
And see how it worked out for him. That's why we're here.
But fake it till you make it. Do you think it's a thing? Do you think there's ever a reason to fake it?
I feel a lot of the kind of people I have around me or who I see around me, I see it to be more of like they're faithing it, the FAITH.
Okay.
And then some people say, oh, she's being fake or he's being fake, right? That's the way I see it. But in the real sense of the fake it till you make it, I don't think people should be fake.
Okay.
You understand? Like I feel that if you cannot afford some things, I don't think you should borrow money. Like if you cannot afford a loan, I don't think you should stretch yourself outside of your like forcing. When you say you're forcing something to happen, I don't think you should do that. However, I know that people act in faith, believing that maybe they will. For example, let me give you a very good example to me. Is okay. So I came into the country. I'm trying to get on a particular career path or my profession. I'm not there yet, but I'm going for conferences where they have leaders, you know, and you're seated on that table. You're talking as an authority on that topic and all that. But you know that you're still looking for a job. Yeah. You understand? So that way, I see that this person is faithing it, not faking it. Yeah, but a lot of people will say that, oh, fake life. You know, that kind of a thing. But if it's the real fake it.
You shouldn't bother.
I know they.
Tizo.
I'm here to learn.
Yeah. No, okay.
He put me out of my learning mode, so you have to
From the season fake honestly, this topic is a bit dicey.
Honestly.
So maybe I might want to chill first before I say anything. Because there's a thin line between what we know as faith and what some people see as faking it. So it might be okay. Who is our audience for this particular topic now?
Yeah,
are we talking to our church people, or are we talking to the world people, or are we talking to everyone?
Anybody that will watch this video is our audience.
Okay, so let's start with what is the definition of fake.
Yeah.
Let's say what's fake. Fake means it's not authentic, it's not original, it's not the product. Yeah. It is a counterfeit of something.
Imitation of the product. Yeah.
An imitation of the product. While faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Okay, so fake it till you make it sounds more like a doctrine that is superficial.
Okay.
In the sense that you are basically telling people that create an impression of
who you are not,
of what you want to be, even though you are not that. That you are not there.
Okay.
So, for example, in this scenario, you would see someone going to go buy maybe the most expensive BMW when all you could afford is probably a Kia.
The Kia, okay.
Right?
No disrespect to Kia.
No disrespect to Kia, but it is affordable. Affordable is a good way of saying good price. You know, connect the dots.
Kia, disrespect to you.
No, but it is what it is. Like, so because we come from, and I'm taking it back to origin story, coming from West Africa, Nigeria, there's a saying where people say you're supposed to, which might not be a bad thing, the way you say dress the way you want to be addressed. So in the other words, if you want people to treat you like $1 million, you have to show up in $1 million car.
They call it packaging.
They call it packaging, yes. They call it packaging. You don't go to the bank to get a loan of 1 million, 1 million coming in a jalopy car. You have to go get the best car from one of your richest friends, drive it to the bank, make sure everyone sees when you arrive, and then going to go meet the loan officer because they get an impression of, oh, this guy must have money, so he probably will be afford to get this loan. So that's the mindset that drives those kind of things. Now, coming to the faith angle, the way we understand things that might be similar to those things is not exactly that. What we do in faith is whatever you are hoping to achieve, wherever you're supposed to see yourself in, you first need to fight the battle of the mind. Because we believe that it's not, in Christianity is the other way. In the world, is seeing is believing. In Christianity is you believe, then you see it. So when you believe it, that's when it manifests. Means that you need to overcome the mental hurdle that sees yourself not qualified for that particular thing, break that mental hurdle or break that spiritual boundary, and then it will manifest in the physical. So it is different. But so people that do not know otherwise, they might confuse them from one another. So that's where my angle is from.
So Koye needs to decide where you're.
I'll definitely come to it, but we have to hear from the experts. I mean, he's someone that he has traveled all over the world.
Yes.
He's well learned. He has faked, he has faked it, he has... David, shoot.
Okay, so for me, I think the difference between faking and faith with everything...
No, even before we go to the difference, okay, that concept, caption,
okay, so
faking it.
Now, the question is, how many people have actually made it while faking it?
Okay.
So that's one. Number two, when it comes to, like Tune said, the feel between faking and packaging, you find out that even why you want to fake it, there must be substance.
Okay.
Because if you're faking it, like this guy now that's going and dressing rich, even though he's not, in hopes that he can land this contract, what happens when the contract lands and he's empty and he can't fulfill it? It's not sustainable.
So what is inside does not match what is actually outside.
You understand? So that's the downside for faking.
Yes.
Is when the chips are down and you have eventually made it, can you sustain
it? Can you deliver what
can you deliver it?
The perception.
If not, you're going to go back to step one and fake all over again. So if you want to fake, you must have substance. Like I said, it has to do with the intention. For me, I want to break into a certain circle that can enhance my potential, can enhance my prospects. Principles come in there. Look the part, think the part, align yourself in the right path. People can construe that as faking, but you know what you're doing because it's, and ultimately, with an intention or with a background, faking can be in line with faking also. they're not the Bible right now, but the word say, you know, the universe listens.
Okay.
What you keep on saying, who you are, what you think, will determine where you go and where you be and where you
Yes, your confessions, yes.
Confessions. It's principle that cuts across creed, whether you're Muslim, Christian, you understand? Affirmation. So for me, if you want to fake it, you must have what's your intent?
Yeah.
And do you have the resources or do you have the value to back it up
Back up.
when you're called up on stage? That's for faking for me.
So, what do you think are the different reasons people? I know we've probably touched on it different, but what do you think are the salient reasons people fake it? We'll go to the faith part.
Yeah.
But why do you think? Why fake it? Why even bother?
Access.
Access. Okay.
Their desire is to access certain
Privileges.
could be resources and stuff like that. Like from where I come from, origin stories.
Yeah.
This is a normal thing
People
in
do, yeah.
Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
We have boys.
Lagosians
that,
are coming for you.
yes, they know me. I grew up. I'm Lagosian. We know how these things go. Those boys that constantly package that they are what they are not, in order for them to be able to snatch maybe a rich partner and all that, then they become a liability to the partner,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Not
then
that things are
they have to
going
now
wrong.
ride on the cocktails of the partner till then they eventually make something of themselves, which never doesn't always pan out. Like David hit the nail on the head. There has to be that initial substance for you to even be able to say you want to ride that wave and then finally get access to what it is that you want. Now, he did say something about the principle of saying things and it coming to pass.
Yeah.
However, the difference between that and faith is, yes, in faith you make confessions, but your confession has to be based on alignment with the word of God.
Exactly.
So it's not just say, oh, I am driving my daily confessions. I'm driving a BMW X5 2024. That's not how it rolls. It has to be a confession based on revelation that you've gotten from something in the word of the Lord. Yes, I'm on the road today.
But don't say, just pause on that road. Pause on that
You are
road.
the road and then you're still listening.
David, yeah.
There are levels to this thing.
Yeah.
For example, you're coming from a very, very high point. Someone wants to see himself here, see himself there. Right now, the advent of social media, people just is called fake life. They do it just for kicks. You understand? And you see, the negative aspect of that particular thing is with social media, you have an audience.
Yep.
You have people that are going through real stuff and looking up to you.
Not knowing that you are just putting up a
and you're setting them up for bad failure. You understand? Just because you want to get some kicks out of it, you want to get engagement, you want to get likes, you want to be an influencer. You understand? So my point is this, and this is where faking it is very deadly.
Is a pandemic where we come from?
Bro, as in you don't know who your leader. There are stories, man, of people having idols and people that they look up to, and they find out that these guys are just empty and they have gone along the same path and they lost everything. Most of them lost their lives. You understand? Because of that. So it's like we said earlier. If you want to fake it, the intention is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
And like Tunde said, with faith, it's the direction from God. If you are faking it, it's akin to a process. You understand? For me, I'm a believer in process. If I see you do something and you cannot explain why, the value, the reason, the end point, you cannot tell me that this is the mission and mission of, not like that, but explain it and say, okay, this is the start, this is the finish, in hopes that.
Yeah.
Then why am I following you?
Yeah.
So, access. Everything you just said, what would you point it to as reason why people fake it?
Some people just want to
Validation,
social validation.
Why did people fake it?
To be honest, it's very valid. Like, it's important. Putting an image out there in the face of people is very important. For me, it's like one of the greatest assets anybody has, your self-image. So that's like the sole reason. I want you to perceive me in a certain way that I can afford a Nike, I can afford, when really you can't afford it. You're maybe like hoeing a million of people. You're hoeing their money and then you're flashing your...
Question is, if you don't care what people think, do we need to fake anything?
Well, for some people...
But you should care what people think.
Why?
But like I said, access, like
you should care what
I want
people
to
think,
point
so.
on what
But you should be yourself.
What people still said, in terms of access, you are not faking it from the point of view of I care about how they see me, but I'm faking it because I want to
access something,
get something from them.
and I must give them this impression before I can get it.
It goes back to how they see you.
Yeah, eventually.
No, but when you say how they, who is the they? The day in the question is not the general
exactly.
people.
It's
So this is the day in this question is,
exactly.
for example, now if and I'm taking it back to the idea of these Lagos boys. Now they want to paint a facade of them being successful.
Okay.
Right? Now it doesn't really mean that they don't have the tools to become successful.
Yeah.
Let's say okay, where we are from, like economic hardships, they might come from poor homes, they might not have access to resources that a typical, well-to-do child of a wealthy man would have, and it's these things are well pointed out where we come from, where you need those kind of connections to be able to access some levels of society and get into some corridors of power, right? So basically the only way they believe that they can access these resources is then to paint this facade of them being successful, of them being part of that circle and that now grants them access to that circle, and then they write those cocktails of being amongst them, so they can now then maybe access a contract or access employment, or just be able to secure a loan based off the connections that they've made, because those things are more pointed out like in developing countries than in the first world. Because the first world, one of the key things that any immigrant will discover when they cross over here is like the opportunities are a bit more linear. It doesn't mean that you still don't need some to get to but the opportunities are a bit more linear, and if you do your due diligence, you should be able to access like the basics of the basics.
True.
So now there. Everybody is running on a
basics.
I need to be able to get this, I need to be able to get that, and for me to be able to get this, I need to package. And then that's why branding guys like Devoli, he helps them out to package them. So that's why you see, even on social media is a very, very pointed pandemic going on from today you open social media, tomorrow there's a new celebrity that was made. How did they become celebrities? You don't know.
I saw one about a 13-year-old actress or 14-year-old that nobody has heard of, and she had bought a house worth like 50 million. So what's going on?
And you now be giving young people like us pressure.
You've not seen her in anything.
Okay, so
there are always female actresses in Nigeria.
Let's not go there.
They're always
that thing.
Every week
sorry,
I'm not swearing, but I can say every single week when I go to Nigerian social media, there's a new female actress that just bought a 500 million house, and I've not seen any movie that they acted.
It's mad.
People that identify as females.
No. It's not even about gender. This topic
what
has
you mean.
no
It is
relation
actually
to
what is just raised is a very
But how long can you
controversial.
fake it though?
gender.
Well, when it comes to what you said, if what is inside does not match what you are being displayed,
What you're portraying.
Yeah.
it will definitely
It's not
have an experience. It's not
sustainable.
sustainable. But before we go further down, we want to, in UnsKripted, we say real issues, real people, real talk. Real people. We are all real people.
Yeah.
Raise up your hand if you have ever faked it.
Depends on what you mean by fake.
Just raise up your hand if you have
Based
ever
on
faked
our
it. Based on our
discussion.
definition or our discussion, raise up your hand.
I've been in the Western one for a long time.
Raise up your hand if you have ever faked it. Raise up your hand.
I
Okay.
can't remember.
No, I've always been real. I've always been real. I've always been real, man. No, I don't fake stuff. Nah, Tizu, your boy Tizu always real. Well, I keep it 100. That's why that's what I keep it 100.
I've always been my authentic self.
Okay.
Like right now, even like, let me give you a very good example. Like when I crossed over from Nigeria and came to Canada as a new immigrant, regardless of the wealth of professionalism or career or whatever I have, I was always out there in faces of people. Like I beg, I did look for a job.
Okay.
I remember that. Let me raise my hand.
You understand? Like I'm not saying that I'm there, I'm this, and then and all those periods where I was still waiting, I know buy one thing like this. I was being so prudent with spending and all that. I didn't say that because this was how you were back home. Then now that I'm in church, because like I've always been a very sensitive with my dressing, the kind of clothes. But then I didn't have money to buy anything, so I was just wear your jeans, JJ, and t-shirt. You understand? I don't need to fake it. I was at my low time then. Now when the bar started coming,
Koi, permission to ask a question when she's done.
you better ask me. Don't ask me any other question.
No, I'll ask you a question, and We can edit it out if the answer is not favorable.
Yeah. So to be honest, I can maybe I could have, but I cannot remember a time in my life where actually I've always been my authentic self, right?
Okay.
Can I go?
Wait, go. I don't think there's a point where you say, okay, I'm about to fake it.
There are points where people do.
Do you know why I raised my hand?
Where?
When I ask this question, you understand.
Yeah.
Have you ever embellished your CV?
But yes, I have. But embellish my CV. Embellish my CV in terms of everything I did.
Wait, no,
right?
no, don't explain. No explanation.
No, because embellishment now.
No
When you talk
evidence.
about embellishment is like you're putting in. Like for example, now maybe you
the details are more down.
Exactly. You can't say that embellish like maybe like I changed my
No,
title.
let me give
my
the
job.
prime
Give me
CV
example.
embellishment.
Okay.
For example, I was responsible for the revenue
No,
of
I've
20
always
million.
so one thing. No. One thing about me is that I'm one of the few people that I was lucky like straight out of college or uni. What they call it?
Uni, yeah.
Straight out of uni, I went into my current field, which is project management and business
you
analysis.
didn't have to.
I've never worked as a maybe like all this anything.
We straight out of uni. What did you do in uni?
Computer science.
And you went to project management.
Straight up. My
Without
very
any
first job was in
certification.
project management.
Without any certification.
Without any no, I did my Microsoft certified MTC. They call it MTCS then. I did my Microsoft certification while I was in NYSC. You know we do NYSC. Immediately after NYSC, I got a job in project. So
she has not faked it.
I can't remember.
Don't give her a fake thing to fake.
I can't.
Okay. She already answered. She said embellished. She said she embellished. She
No,
said she embellished.
My own example.
My own is embellishment.
Okay, if embellishment is faking to you, I see faking as okay. This is
No,
this is
that's
what,
an
you're
example.
not this. You're not
You're
this,
not
and then
this.
you're saying you're this.
Exactly. That's what
Exactly.
fake is.
Embellishment is that because
That's
if I
not
see
me.
your CV and you paint that picture that you
Then
have
you're
this
project
level of
management.
proficiency,
But you did computer
No,
but
engineering.
you are not.
No.
You say a project manager, but you did computer
Computer
engineering.
I did yes now. I didn't put it there. I didn't put it there that I was certified when I wasn't certified.
If she has exams to back up
Exactly.
that project
I've
management,
never
why
put
not?
in a certification
Don't
that I
let
did
me
not
open your
have.
LinkedIn now, but let's move on.
Oh yeah, open now.
No, I think
Open it.
my own example was, thank God, I even corrected it based on some pointed out that this is wrong. I remember there was a time when, so I've always desired to do an MBA in Harvard. Then, out of faith, I put it on Facebook, the MBA Harvard.
Oh more that one that's straight up.
That's criminal.
So, you know, and I did it from the integrity of my heart, or what I thought.
Agbado.
or what I thought was the integrity of my heart.
No, now. Fear no catch you.
No, for me, because I didn't know better then. Because probably I had been, I was living in.
You were wading in the waters.
No, it wasn't about wading in the waters. I was, this thing where you picture where you want to be, things like that.
Aspire to Maguire.
But my own was okay. I was on the trajectory where I know this was going to happen. I was so sure about it because I had lived a life where anything I wanted.
So you were sure you were going to get that MBA from Harvard?
I was so sure then.
So why did you not put in view there?
Now, I could have put that, but even that in view is wrong.
Why? But it's in view. You're seeing
because I'm not
in the
yet there.
future.
No,
Okay, even that in view is what?
What do you mean by it's wrong?
No, it's
in
wrong.
view is in the future.
No.
In view.
Can you not see
In view.
But,
In view.
No, but if a third party reads that, if someone else reads that in view, it would mean that
you're currently.
I can't help it.
I'm
third party.
already in
It's
Harvard
wrong,
reading
yeah.
MBA that I have. I'm going to graduate in 2025.
No, really. Like for example, in certification, if you are working towards getting certification, you can say it's in view. It doesn't mean that you've started going to the classes. Yeah, you're working towards it now.
But
you're working towards the
done
MBA by reading their website every day.
but you've done something to show that you have actually started that certification process. That's what it means in view.
That's what it's
But in view would have been wrong. But someone pointed it out and corrected
Anyway,
that this is wrong. That it.
Anyway.
Even though from the beginning I was facing.
It's fine. I don't need to
Yeah.
absorb you.
I was-
You're
I
a
was-
faker.
See, the truth is,
I was
at some
thinking-
point in our life, some of us would have painted some picture
of where we want to be.
Yes.
So
David.
so my own was 2014. So it was when I started my career in my company. I was there for 9 years. I just resigned this July, and I was open. I was granted access into a level where before then I hadn't been, and I knew that I had to package.
Okay.
So the truth was, I was coming off without a job back then. I was cut off from my family, no more daddy's money. I knew that these guys needed to see me in a certain light.
Before they could
I
accept
had the skill set. I'm very good at what I do. And so what I did was...
What's his name?
Who's that?
The character in Suits.
Okay,
Oh, okay, that guy. I
What's
forgot
his
his
name?
name.
No, not Harvey.
Mike Harvey. Is it
No.
Mike Harvey?
No, Mike is the it's Mike. But
But name will come. Please continue.
So what I did was, back then I was driving a 98 Nissan Primera. Then, so I found out that this wasn't going to work.
Not them.
It wasn't going to work.
No, listen, it wasn't going to work. So back then I said I was going to get a car that would be fit. Look, what I did, I got that car. It was a Nissan 350, the sports car.
Did you have the money for it?
I'm getting there. A 2-seater sports car. I got the car. I didn't have the money, but where I was working, I took a loan from my work.
Wow, okay.
And my boss believed so much in me and gave me that loan.
Oh, that's good.
Bro, I was still sleeping on my friend's couch.
Oh my God.
Because my parents' house
That's
was
not-
very, very far.
wow.
And I bought that car. I think that car, I was like 2 in Lagos at that time.
Wow.
And I was driving that car. And I will tell you, when I started driving that car, my price changed. I was still working somewhere, but the stuff I was doing and people I was mingling with, I think it was like the Matrix. I was entering anyhow.
Okay.
Because it was a conversation
So
starter.
that car was a tool.
Yeah, it was a tool. Do you understand? But the thing is, bro, maintenance of that car for a while.
Well, it took a toll on you.
And you're sleeping on your friend's couch.
I was still on my friend's couch. Do you understand?
Was that faking it?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
did, because
was.
for someone
It
to have
was.
that kind of car,
You must have been-
a
you
good
comfortable.
house,
Yeah.
a good job,
Yeah.
you must have 2 more.
And were there times where you borrowed money to fuel the car?
Of course.
You understand?
course.
So
Yeah,
that was
that
faking
was
it.
faking
That
it.
was
So I
definitely
wasn't about that life, but if you see me driving that car and how I dress and everything, you
It
would think
wasn't
so.
jiving.
Good example. We're going to one hotel in Korea. I forgot the name right now. I know they always scan cars. So there was a
Yeah.
Toyota in front of me,
Oh.
and they scan me. They didn't scan.
like just go. Like
You understand?
for you to be able to drive
I've driven. They've parked the car. I've gotten out. I've entered VIP. Nobody stopping me. You understand? But the thing was, like I said earlier, I had substance to back it up.
I mean, it's
You understand? So like
The-
I said,
the-
your thinking should have an intention.
in the intention. The stories are unending. I can
They're
think of many.
unending.
But you didn't swing to anybody. That was the key thing.
Well,
No, I didn't.
that's
No.
that's another angle.
No.
Let's drive it home.
Okay.
Faith versus fake. You said that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. At what point do you now start drawing the line that okay, I'll start faithing it, FAITH. No more faking it. Let me start with, because I know you have but
For me,
let
for
be
me it's
fast.
about, okay, so when they asked, like, the example Tizu gave, I said, okay, I could have embellished my CV, right? It's when they ask you the question, can you do this? Faith is, I can do, I can.
I can
have
do
you-
autism
have
practice,
you done
just
this?
reflect it
Wait,
in me.
wait now, let me wrap
Bam.
it up. Have you done this before? When you're faking it, you say, oh yes, I did it in project A, in project B, in company B. But faith is, you may not even say you've not done it before. You say, I can do it. And then you give examples and, you know. So I feel that faith, you were not going to hard lie into faith. I think that's like, for me, that's like the difference. That's the cross line. So I can be showing, he can be driving his car. I don't know. I don't think I will go as far as that. But I can be putting up a particular image or perception of myself or my condition. But if you ask me a question,
Okay, you should be able to back it up.
either back it up or I tell you the true situation of
Situation of
things.
things.
You understand? But if it's faking, you lie, you swindle people,
Yeah.
people fraud and all of those
That's
things.
another extreme.
Yeah.
Tizu,
So the thing with so I will give 2 scenarios,
Yeah.
Or rather not scenarios. I will break down this faith thing a bit more. Now, substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. It then goes further to say, faith without works
Is
is
dead.
dead.
Is that
Which means that even when you are faithing something, there's a work element that has to be going with it.
true
Okay.
that?
You can't be faithing. For what he said, I don't see that as faking.
Honestly, I don't as
oh,
well.
really? Okay.
He had faith.
Because it was
I
a
take my
tool.
hand back
He
down.
had faith that he had the substance
Yeah.
to elevate his
don't
his
need a
practice.
Yeah.
He knew that there were some boundaries that he needed to cross, and he felt like this is the tool that will let me break into this category. Now, he didn't go and borrow somebody's car.
And he didn't lie that it was his car when it wasn't his car. Because some people do that.
Borrowing money is different from...
No, it doesn't matter.
Borrowing money is different from...
It's a controversial
No, let me land.
No, I think
okay,
borrowing money is different from borrowing somebody else's car.
And they're saying it's yours.
He borrowed money on himself.
And got the car by
Basically, he had to sell himself to someone to get that loan.
Yeah.
Oh, and he used me.
He used you paid. He didn't use me. He paid for it.
And he sold based on the substance that he had.
Okay.
Because the substance that he had was enough to convince that person that it was a worthy investment to give money into. The person, meanwhile, did not buy into the car. The person bought into him.
Okay.
Now,
potato, but...
Yes. No. He didn't say... I'm sure he wasn't explaining to the person that, oh, I have to buy this car. He just basically said...
He was bigger than the car he was using. My Oga.
Basically, he wanted to borrow money.
Yeah.
They believed in him. They borrowed him the money.
Yeah.
How he chose to use the money could be interpreted as a work of, I know that I'm good for this. This is the tool. And it could be based on anything.
Yeah.
Faith is usually based on revelation. It could be a revelation that he got at that point in time.
Yeah. So,
did you get the revelation?
Oh, yes. So, but back then, do you understand? I was not going to buy a Toyota Honda, any of those normal cars. It was, and God gave me the green light.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's key.
So that's the difference there.
I wouldn't say you were faking it then. If a cut-out fake it for me are those guys that they get their friend's car, get in the party, they say, and they don't even tell you I'm doing this. Oh, that my car, I think I got in 2019. That was a cut-out.
I grew up in Lagos. Like these boys, they do this thing so well. Back. They use other people's houses. Yes, they use other people's cars.
The one that's trending right now.
They will date wealthy ladies for years.
Yes, now.
Marry them before those girls will even have any inkling to know that they didn't own any of those things.
People they do their TikTok in a hotel room and they say, "Oh, I'm just chilling in my bed." Really?
Anyway, for my difference, the difference for me for faking, which Tizo and teacher have said, is this. Number one, there must be a clear direction for faith. Faith is a product of God, and God deals with us based on His commandments.
Okay.
But like she said, if going against one of His commandments is part of the process, it's wrong.
Okay.
You understand? So you cannot lie and say your faith in it. You have to do it with instructions. And number two is, like Tizo said, there has to be a work element to it.
Work it out.
God can't bless what is not in your hand.
Okay.
You understand? So for people that just have faith and they are not doing anything, faith without works is dead. You understand? You're deceiving yourself and you're wasting your time. Faking is you're going out of your way without a supernatural direction. Because when you have faith, you are where you are, but you are seeing
it.
Where you are going to.
And because of God, it is certain that you will get there.
Yeah.
So you are seeing it. Most of the times, faking is in hopes that to click. Sorry.
If it
clicks.
Yeah.
You understand? If it clicks, hey, you understand? It's like risk taking. It's like gambling.
Yeah.
We call it kalu.
And sometimes fake, you're not even showing people what you have. What do
you
you need?
For example, the difference between faith and faking is because there's always a process.
Yeah.
When in the faith process, just and there's always a waiting period, and in that waiting period is one of the most toughest periods for people that have faith, Christians. And what keeps you going is repeating what God has said, confirming and confessing those things. It doesn't happen in faking.
Yeah.
You understand?
And
that's my point of view.
And I'll drive it on from there. I think when it comes to faith, we call those things that be not as though they were, so that they can come into pass. But faking it on the other end, you don't have a substance from your inside that you can actually draw from to call those things you want to see.
To come to reality.
You are living
calling things that are not that they are.
That they are. Exactly. Calling things that are not that they are. Wow, it has been an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. We know that you probably faked it at some point.
Yeah.
No judgment. We're not judging you. We've all been there.
We've all been there.
They have shared the
Even
example.
if I can't remember, I'm sure I have been.
But notwithstanding, let's know what your the trajectory of your life has been. Are you a faker? Are you a faker? But notwithstanding,
more of faith,
we are sure
guys.
that you have learned from us, and we hope that you go on with one thing. And when you're believing God for something, have a substance that you can draw from, and ultimately is the word of God.
Yeah.
God's word is the fulcrum via which you can draw life from, and you can call into existence what you want to see.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, season 2 has been explosive.
Betty,
You will all agree with me. Season 2 has been out of this world.
Yeah.
We enjoyed ourselves, and I'm sure you also learned a lot from us. We look forward to coming back to your screens on season 3. So we'll leave you with this. Faith it, Faith, till you make it. And have a blessed rest of the season. God bless you. Bye, guys.